Yeah. Oh man, we here. Been a minute, been a minute. We gonna drop this link in here. It has been a minute. I'm not gonna let people on. I really don't know. But just got a little segment going on right now. Um the crazy part is this, someone came to me, asked me a question, was like, man, I wanna make some extra money because we were having a conversation and I told him I was like, nowadays if you're not a high earner, you're gonna have two incomes. That means you're gonna have to have two jobs, have a 9 to 5, you gotta have a side hustle, um, gig app, something that you can do to make money to, kind of keep you with inflation. I mean, let's face it, be honest. The government knows this. In Georgia, minimum wage is 7.25. Show me a house, apartment, or anything that I can get approved of for 7.25. You're not gonna find that because it doesn't exist. And the crazy part, we have these questionable things. We talk about certain things, but in the end, I mean, honestly speaking, man, who really is out here, giving us information? Who is really giving us stuff that we can actually kind of work with to, handle certain things? Nobody really. And it really boils down to the point of you actually wanting to find this information. That's the crazy part. You got to actually want to find the information for it to actually be available. So, I mean, it gets kind of tricky, man. Like I said, man, I want to make some extra money. How can I make extra money? And, hey, man, you might be able to do this, you might be able to do that. I ran out. Hey, if you got a car, go do a DoorDash, go do Lyft. Don't have a car. Maybe you can find something that you can do. Meanwhile, like borrow a car. And if you can't borrow a car, use some apps. Use websites that's looking for people. Um, Fiber. No, that's not Fiber. What is it called? Starts with an F though. Um, this is a place that actually, literally, I don't know who did this, but they actually have it to where you can get on this site and do jobs. I can't think of the name of it right now. It'll come back to me. It's not. It might be Fiber, but there's different sites that you can go on and look up jobs. There's different apps you can use, the gig apps. I listed a whole bunch of gig apps. I listed games that you can go and do. I listed a plethora of different ways. What's going on, Kay? Fiverr. But I mean, I've listed and talked about all these things, but in the end, um, a lot of people just don't want to do it, you know. And I mean, it's crazy, Kay. What's going on? I seen your video today, man. Shout out to you. I'm up here doing some work real quick, just actually putting a screw in the door. But I mean, the crazy part is, man, nobody wants to get this money and come into the game. Nobody wants to actually do the work. That's the crazy part that gets me. You know, it's like that playing the lottery. You know, honestly speaking, I play the lottery. Do I think I'm gonna hit the lottery? Yes. Do I really think I'm gonna get rich off the lottery? No. Statistically speaking, a lot of people just like they are. Just one lottery spin away from becoming a millionaire. So that's their whole motive. If I can get this lottery ticket, I can do this, I can do that, man, I'll be a millionaire. I mean, honestly, nah, wishful thinking. All right, where my other toolbox at? Cause I need a Phillip head screwdriver. Yeah, I just actually got to go over here and put one screw into a door at this rental property that I work with. Okay. Might have to use one of these screws because I can't find it. I got this XL screw. This goes on here. Nope. Yeah, but like I said, I was just doing a little segment, because someone asked me a question, was like, man, I want to make extra money, how I go about doing this and doing that. And I'm like, man, proven system. I've been talking about this for how long? Telling people about Fiverr, telling people about, gig apps. I mean, if you got a car, you can make money today, right now, with a car. Set up the app. In most cases, you'll have these apps, they'll have you working right then and there. DoorDash, you don't want nobody in your car like that. You want somebody in your car, you got Lyft, you got Uber, there's all different apps. And then you turn around, let's say you don't want to do none of those things. You want to just drop packages. You got Spark, where you drop groceries. You got packages like Amazon. Um, what is the Amazon? I think it's what is it? Amazon Flex, I believe. And you have what is the other one they have? Spark for Walmart. Target has a app that they deal with too as well. All these different apps to where people can make money. But in the end, shout out to Dr. Dunbar. Big discussions. What are you gonna do after you leave your 9 to 5? What does your 5 to 9 consist of? Because like I said, you really don't have to go and have a job to where, man, I gotta go clock in. Man, I gotta go put in some work at this job, and I gotta leave and go to another job. I talked to an older guy yesterday. Well, it was last week, and he was telling me he was leaving his regular job and coming there. And I was like, okay, so you got 2 jobs? He's like, yeah. He's like, 2 full jobs. He said, but the thing is, we do what we have to do. And I'm like, all right, cool. And he would say, when it comes down to it, a lot of people, you know, they want the money, but they don't want to do the work. And I was like, how you expect to get the money if you ain't gonna do the work? You know? And you have these people that want stuff gifted to them. Make sure nobody's in here before I actually took the doorbell off the door. But I mean, when it comes down to a lot of people, like I said, they just want this money. They don't want to do no work. And like I said, I'm trying to start this segment up. I'm actually gonna revamp my whole channel. I'm gonna try to start coming on more because, you know, you get a little discouraged trying to get this information to people, but they want to laugh. This whole thing with Corey Holcomb blew up so big. I mean, if Corey wasn't big now, he's technically big. Anton as well. Anton believes no a bad publicity is good publicity. But in the same sense, that bad publicity is setting him up, for failure as well. Because now the alleged cheating came out about Anton. That's why I say alleged, because we don't know if it's true or not. Like I said, the gossip blogs, it's something to get your line out of the norm. Kay, you said it's best. Everybody gets on here talking about, the hot topics, talking about, what's trending, beefs, arguing with each other. There's other channels that get on here and work with each other. I go into the box truck channels, and even though they're selling courses, they're actually trying to get everybody on this same page of making money. You know, a lot of people, like I said, want to make money. They want to do this stuff. They don't have they don't have their group. They don't have their as they say, their people, their clan, because you're so attached to the funny videos. When are you gonna start making money? I actually talked to my coworker. My coworker is 54 and I'm 43. And we were having a conversation. I was telling him, I was like, man, you get the trust, you got to do this with a trust. You get life insurance, you got to do this with a life insurance. I'm like, oh, you got to get the index. And he's asking me, man, how do you know all this stuff? I mean, he knows, you know, I talked to him just like I've told people before. My father died when I was young. My dad was in the military, you know, altercations happened, but he died. I had to figure this stuff out. I had uncles, but my uncles, they were out there with the women having fun. I didn't have nobody teaching me the knowledge. You know what is do the knowledge, baby. Do the knowledge. Shout out to Grits and Eggs podcast. I be over there, Grits and Eggs podcast all the time. I be over there, Anthony O'Neill, the table. I be over there watching his podcast. What's the Indian guy? I watch him all the time. I can't even think of his name right now. He had a book out called Money for Couples, and you know he had a segment on Netflix about spending money where he dealt with couples. You know, he has a a book that he wrote. But you know, I'm over here looking at these podcasts in the morning before I go to work. I'm like, man, I can look at all this trash later. I can look at this trash, laugh in the afternoon. Man, I need to try to get some knowledge. So I'm over here looking at this information, trying to, you know, hey, what's the way I can make this money? How I can do this or how I can do that. You know, me, prime example, and it's not a flex or anything, you know, but like I just got a brand new truck, not brand new, but it's a '07. Paid it off cash. Went into the 401k, got it, and putting the money back in the 401k. Why I'm gonna pay the bank interest on something when I got money sitting in the 401k? I can pull that out and use that money. Why not do that? Why sit up here and you have money in there? You're gonna go to the bank, get a loan, or you're gonna go to a car dealership, get a loan on a car. The car is $15,000. After it's all said and done, you're paying 23. You're gonna pay $8,000 extra to the bank, and then you're gonna sit there and just eat that. All I have to do, pay this money that I borrowed from getting this truck back to the 401k. Why I gotta sit here and get a bank all this interest? If anything, why not I just put extra money to the side like I'm paying my car note and give that interest to the bank? I mean, get that interest to my bank. You know, when they always talk about being the bank, this is how I'm being the bank. I'm paying myself the money back. I borrowed from myself. I'm paying myself back, and I could put interest on the money. The crazy part is we always have these talks about, man, I want generational wealth. Generational wealth is the how can I put this? What was popping? Like the it's like the bling bling of this time. You know, because bling bling was the number one thing every coming around your city, bling 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 was created like a lifestyle. That's what they're using now. You know, generational wealth is the lifestyle. How many people are actually going for generational wealth? Not a lot. How many people actually know how to get generational wealth by not more than just saying the words? Shout out to Alonzo Hall with the life insurance game. A lot of people, man, prime example, you know, personal. My cousin's wife, her husband, I mean, what is it? Her dad died. And when her dad died, she's like, man, my stepmom ain't gonna give me no money. And I'm like, Why you just didn't get a life insurance for yourself? You tell your dad you get the insurance and you pay for it. Why not? It comes down to that point, man. A lot of times, hold on, I'm gonna put this code. Yeah, I might have to come back on here because I don't even know what the code is. What is doing? What is this? Oh, got the code on the first try. Hello, maintenance. All right, we back. But I mean, it's crazy, man. I mean, needless to say, when dealing with life insurance and all this other stuff, man, nobody's really wanting to have that discussion. So this where we have the problem at. So they said they were having an issue with this door coming off. I don't see no issue with this door unless she's talking about another door. Might be the bathroom door. Yeah, might be this door. Nope, it's gotta be the bathroom door. But yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's a lot of things we could be doing to make money. It's a lot of things we could be doing to, okay, it's the bathroom door to benefit and to help out each other. But in the end, nobody wants to do all that. Nobody is, trying to work with each other. Everybody's trying to go against the grain. Everybody's trying to put themselves in a point to say, well, I run this, I do this. Nobody's helping each other, and in the end, what are we doing for each other? It's not really for the greater good of just one. Nobody's getting helped on this. Literally, nobody's getting help. Everything's going down the drain. Far as when it comes to us working together in the community, we can keep talking that everybody's, this one love, one family. Oh snap! I forgot the alarm system. What is the alarm system? I might be back a little later.